Really good to have you on. We have Ilia Rozman, the ultimate eBay expert when it comes to all things eBay behind the scenes with regards to suspensions, how to work with eBay properly. So Ilia, welcome. Hope you're good. We've known each other for many years through my journey as a drop shipper and, in general, working with eBay. I know you're one of the most knowledgeable people, I guess, in the world when it comes to all of these things that I've mentioned and that we're going to talk about today. So if you wouldn't mind just giving us a little bit of an introduction to, who you are, how long you've been around for, where your expertise lie.
Okay, so first of all, thank you for having me here. My name is Ilia. I am a lawyer in Israel. My journey was started as a dropshipper also around 7 years ago. In the first year that I was seeing the problems that was picking up by maintaining a eBay store, so I reached out to a person that did the services and asked him to remove a negative feedback. And the price that I got, it was like crazy one, like really crazy one. So I tried to call to eBay and started to talk with representatives and understood that I can do stuff by my own in a real good way. So I started in small, only providing services that for feedbacks and defects and stuff like that, increasing limits by phone, and that's all. It was like the first year, and after the first year that I understood that this is something that I wanted to do to help more people around the world. So I was getting more and more serious in this particular niche. Today, I am a owner of a company that called Rozman Experts. We're providing services for all kind of eBay problems, also for stuff for PayPal and stuff like that. So first of all, we are providing law consulting to people that got trademarks, lawsuits and stuff like that from eBay, from other companies. Second of all, we're providing help with suspensions and NC011, and today in the community we have the highest success rate for appealing to eBay. We have more than 95% of success in appealing to eBay with a legal way. We are providing also services behind the scene, like stuff like increasing high limits and stuff like that, that this is much harder. But yes, we are doing all kind of services to eBay relative to eBay.
For sure. So that's a lot. And one thing that I can think of within everything that you're saying there is that with all of these things, there's so much importance on eBay to make sure that we get these things right in the first place. Okay, so I guess we're two very different people in the sense that I try to teach people how to work with eBay correctly and why it's so important, to have good metrics, have good feedback, and be able to, prevention is better than the cure. But on your side of things, it just shows that to be able to make a business around these problems and provide a solution to eBay sellers means that a lot of people are making mistakes, but also eBay does not play around. eBay are a serious company. They have rules that they want you to follow. I think sometimes when I try to teach people how to work with eBay, they think it's not that serious. They think that I'm just saying these things, but everything that I say and everything that I advise it for a reason, because one, I've either seen it happening to me, or I've seen it happening to someone else. I've seen the negative impacts, and also from knowing you over the years, I see how many people that you have helped and that you've also provided a solution for. So it is a very real problem. With anything, I guess, like I said, prevention is always going to be better than the cure. Maybe not so much for you, because you obviously, you run a business, you run a consultation, but I'm sure you, like me, would rather see people working the correct way with eBay. So in terms of your own knowledge and your own experience from eBay, in 2023, in your opinion, what's the best way to work with eBay? I mean, of course, we're drop shippers, so we're naturally, going against the grain a little bit. But right now in 2023, what's your kind of best advice or best practice for new sellers when they're starting their eBay journey as such?
Okay, so first of all, we need to understand when we enter to eBay, it's something that we are accepting all eBay policies. We are by clicking, we are signing our okay to maintain eBay policies, and they are really, really important, because in the outside of the world, when we open a store, we have our own business and we are maintaining our own rules. But when we are selling at eBay, the store are inside eBay, and every action in eBay that we do, eBay can detect. So it's very important to understand for new sellers that reading some policies and to understanding how to search policies in Google, you can go ahead, any person can go ahead and write how to eBay feedback policy or eBay defect policy or such, and there is a lot of answers to these questions. The first thing that we need to understand for a new seller, that we can't run and go what we want to do. eBay, it's a strict place, and they follow the most important thing. It's a safe marketplace. For them, if you are, it's very easy to understand why, because there is a lot of people that scam the system. There is a lot of people that doing stuff that we even can't imagine. There is a lot of professionals, people that open buyers accounts and they manipulate sellers around the world. This is something that very familiar. First of all, we need to understand that we need to go slowly. In the first month that we open the store, we have also a small limit, so we can't jump too high. But if we are starting to list a lot of items in one day and starting to erase a lot of items in one day and starting to do a lot of confusion in the store, this is something that can be a problem to eBay. This is something that eBay can show. It can show to eBay that this is a problem, and we are not really understand what we are doing.
This is like not normal behavior. eBay.
Yeah, this is not normal behavior, and this is something that can alert eBay with, whoa, we need to check this account and to see and to verify and to understand what we are actually doing in eBay. So there is a lot of ways that eBay can verify and eBay can detect the behavior. They have algorithms inside that can detect this behavior. This is something that already built inside eBay. And this is even not a person that doing this, it's all robotic. So for example, if you are list too many items in one day for a new store, this is something that right away alert eBay, because they actually want you to keep your orders safe. That means that if you have too many items in the beginning, for eBay, maybe you will not deliver them, and maybe you will not able to deliver them. So for eBay, it's all about safe marketplace and how we go step by step, and not jumping too high, because this is something to the system is belong to someone else, eBay, and we are need to control our account and to do exactly how new seller need to behave, because new seller will not jump in one day and to start list a crazy amount of items or very high profit items, like I don't know, $1,000 per item or 500 to per item. So this is something that also can alert eBay. We need to go step by step and to maintain our account, because if we are doing any mistake in the beginning, eventually it will be very hard to remove the problem or the strike that have in eBay, because they don't give a chances. Like they don't really care about you because they have millions of customers. So if it's only you, it's nothing for them. Even if you pay for a yearly subscription, or even if you pay, I don't know, automation tools and stuff like that, they don't care about nothing. They care about safe environment, and they very strict about this.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, I guess what happens is, and just like you said, you know, you have signed, without signing it, you've ticked a box, or you've agreed to eBay's terms and conditions. The problem with, I guess, with a lot of people is they see the finish line, but they're not prepared to you know, run the race. Basically, they're not prepared to read the rule book, understand the rules of the game that they're playing. And you know, and realistically, like you say, we are playing in eBay's playground. We have to abide by their rules first and foremost. Just like you say, it's so important. And like I said, I think people feel that I am saying it for the sake of saying it, but you know, we have seen it. You've seen it, you know, further back than I have. And just to touch on what you say as well, this is all algorithm. You know, you're not they don't want to hear the excuse, because they don't know you. The only way they can assess you is by how you behave on that store. And you know, they're in this game, you know, 20 years, 30 years, whatever it is. They have, you know, built these algorithms around their own data, which tells them, you know, is this a good person or is this a bad person? You know, computer is going to say yes, or computer is going to say no. Initially, I mean, obviously, I don't feel that things have changed in the time frame that I have been on eBay. I think maybe, if anything, it's become a little bit more stricter as dropshipping's became more in the public eye with YouTube and, you know, with TikTok and whatever else, and people that are promoting to basically, you know, it's a get rich quick scheme and you can make some money, and especially over lockdown. And I think maybe as algorithms and AI has progressed, it makes it a lot easier for eBay to tell a good seller from a bad seller. But do you feel like that at a basic level, has anything really changed in how you have to work with eBay?
In the general section, no, because they are more than welcome new sellers. They are more than welcome people that understanding what they are doing. To tell that they're more strict, it's all about maybe more about doing drop shipping from sources that they don't really like. So this may be more strict, but in general way, like maintaining the problems or removing a feedback or removing a defect, the representatives, I feel in general, that they are more welcome to do this if you are telling them the story, and you explain to them the situation, and it's something that stand behind you, that this feedback or this defect need to be removed. So like 2 years ago, they was saying no to 90%. Today, they are more thinking about, yeah, maybe we can help here, or yeah, maybe we can more assist to the seller. Also, this is very important. Like for a new seller, it's not something that like representative seeing a new account, you don't really thinking about helping the person. But if the account already working and the account already doing the sales, and they seeing a good metrics behind the scene, so yeah, they will want to help you, because eventually, if your account have smaller defect rate or smaller feedback amount, it will help you as a seller. So yeah, they helping maybe more to sellers on eBay.
Sure. It's like, yeah, if you're a brand new account, and number one, you're listing maybe too many items, and then you're canceling one of the first orders that you get, and then suddenly you forgot to fulfill an item and you get a defect, all within a short space of time on a new account. I mean, why would you want that person to be on your marketplace?
Yeah.
As a business, that's not good business, and it's affecting not only the person buying the product, but it's affecting eBay's reputation as a marketplace, because people, they will complain about eBay. They won't complain about me or the user. It will be an eBay issue that they will have to face. But yeah, so in terms of working slowly, we often tell people, that we have to build up trust with eBay. So just like you say, it's all about building that trust and showing eBay that you can play by the rules as such. Do you feel like there's still a point where eBay relax on the seller after like so many days or so many months, where you can start to feel that the account can sell a little bit more or list a little bit more?
Yeah, after like 2-3 months, it's starting to be more easy to list items in a quantity. And if your metrics are good and you don't have any defects or something like that, it also will not raise any concerns from eBay. Because if you did a number of items in the first month, and you go ahead in the second month did double it, and the third month also can double it, so it's a good behavior. It's a metrics that standing behind your work. It's showing a serious way of work. It's showing that you are determining the way that you are doing your business, and you are not jumping too high, and you understanding the policies behind this. Again, eBay, it's a place that have a lot of risks. It's very easy to sell on eBay. It's very convenient to sell on eBay. You can do a lot of things with eBay for your income, but also there always have a chance that eBay will want to verify your account. They always have a chance that eBay will want to talk with the person behind the store. So this is something that also we need to understand.
Sure, for sure. And this is something that, before we kind of get on to that, because I feel like feedback and these things. So when we get, how much do you feel that negative feedback or good feedback really impacts the accounts, and what are kind of like the new sort of anything new to be aware of in this day and age when it comes to those feedbacks?
Okay, so first of all, for the buyer eye, this is the most important thing. When he entered to your store, not for the first item, I mean for the second one and the third one, and becoming your customer. So if he is seeing a lot of negative feedbacks, it's showing something about you. it's not even about eBay. It's about the sales that you will do. Like, for example, you're starting with 100%. And when it goes to several of negative feedbacks, it can reduce your percent of seller. And also it will react on the search bar. Like, for example, if you are searching an item, probably the best sellers will show on top, and with the high amount of feedbacks and the most small amount of negative feedbacks. So this is something that we need to understand. Second of all, if you have like a lot of negative feedbacks and you will call to eBay and you will want to remove them, it will be a problem, because the representative is seeing a lot of negative feedbacks, and he are understanding that you don't really care about the customers, because negative feedbacks always, like in 99% can be resolved with the buyer. Like, for example, a person that bought from me an item and got home, and the item was damaged by the shipping courier. So for him, it's a negative situation. For him, he will leave a negative feedback and also will return the item. So for you, you have two problems now. One is a return item that you need to close it and refund it, or if you will not take your mind on this, it become a defect, and the negative feedback that he leave. So, for example, how I resolve this, so it can be a present, it can be an item from a different supplier, or something that he will want, like he bought a knife, for example, that it's not something that allowed on eBay. So, for example,
Bad example.
yeah, he bought a lamp or a LED light or something like that for outdoor. So I will go and search something regarding outdoor, or something regarding camping, something cheap, only for the feeling to the seller, to the buyer, because if he will get a present, and I will tell him by message that I'm sorry, that this is something that was not something that even my mistake, and I will be more than happy to help you. So first of all, he already see that someone he can resolve the situation. If it's a new item or it's a different item, it's giving a different feeling, and it's not really negative anymore. So this is why I think in the most of the cases, when you have a problem, always communicate with your buyer. Give him to feel that it's a personal thing for you also, and not only for him. And give him to feel that you are feeling the same way like him, and you are more than welcome to help him to resolve the situation. This is something that worked a lot of time for me, and this is something that I always say to people that come to me with defects and with feedbacks. Always communicate with the buyer. You don't need even to call to eBay and to resolve the situation, because I saw also a lot of sellers that saying, oh, he will leave me a negative feedback, I will call to eBay and we'll resolve it. So no, it's a waste of time, and also it's not 100% sure. Okay, so this is something that most of the sellers need to understand and to work exactly like this.
For sure. And eBay want to see you trying to resolve with the buyer themselves, because if you do, let's say, for example, which that's a really great idea, to be honest, I've never thought of it that way. So sometimes we will refund the buyer, or maybe offer them a partial refund and try and work it out with them. But what you're actually doing there has a more personal touch. So you're sending them a gift and saying, look, I'm really sorry. Here's this item. I hope you enjoy it. I'm sorry for the previous problems. And then we're hoping that that buyer will, you know, basically show us some mercy and say, okay, I'm going to remove this negative feedback. This has turned into a positive experience because you've looked after me. Now, what that buyer could do is they could take their gift and not remove the negative feedback. And in that case, if we do go to eBay, we can say,
We
here we go
tried our
today.
best.
We've tried our best. We've sent them a free gift. And in actual fact, in this instance, it was actually the courier that damaged the box. You know, it was out of my control. And sometimes you'll get that feedback removed if you know how to do so correctly. So it's super important that we try with the buyer first. That's the best bit of advice, because eBay want you to be, you know, looking after your customer, the mutual customer, because it's also eBay's customer as well. Perfect. Did you say there was a new policy with feedback?